David. I've got an estimate for you for the siding project. Just want to go over the scope of work in the front of the house. Here it's all masonite, so a lot of this stuff is just basically cardboard covered in paint. So what we need to do is tear off all the siding, go up with a 1/2 inch OSB, excuse the cars, and then put a moisture barrier on and then put Hardie siding. We can do it in any kind of style you want. So if you want to keep this kind of Tudor style with the boards in the front here for an accent, that's fine. A staggered edge shingle might look really good there too. And then I like it how they broke up the different styles here with the lap siding on the bottom. That looks pretty good. So you might want to keep that. We can also make the bottom a Tudor style as well. But I think it helps flow with the rest of the house in having a little bit of breakup and having a different pattern here, just like on the left, right side, and the back side of the home. Around the garage, we'd want to wrap the garage door frames to make them completely maintenance free and paint the garage doors. They already have a primer on them, but I like the primer again with an epoxy primer and then go on with the super paint by Sherwin-Williams. We'll also do the same thing, prime and paint, but this with a latex primer on the shutters. And same with these shutters up here. Your fascia has a 1x2 what I call drip board right next to the shingle. There's a little bitty board there, and then the actual fascia board itself can be replaced. Now the only caveat in this is that the gutters would have to come down, and then new gutters would have to go up. Your gutter cost for this house, this is totally a ballpark, it's going to range between $1,500 and $2,000, $1,500 and $2,000 for brand new gutters and downspouts. So you might want to put that in your budget. But we will take off the 1x2 around the house, all the way around the house on the drip board, right on the fascia, and then replace the fascia board with a piece of Hardie board, so it's completely maintenance free. I do not think that you need to replace your soffits. They look pretty good. There's a couple areas where I'd repair, but other than that, they're protected from the weather, and I think it'd just be a waste of money. So here on the left side of the house, we've got more siding to remove. The trim around the windows and doors will become Hardie plank, and I would probably do them in a 1x4 as opposed to that 1x2. Looks like right now you've got either a real 2-inch or 1 3/4. I haven't measured it. But they did one thing right, put the flashing on top of the windows. All the proper flashing will be installed on your windows and doors, no matter if there's a eave really close to them or not. But we replace the trim around the windows and then the inside corners and the outside corners with Hardie plank. The inside corners will be a 1x2 piece. I always do a butt-to application, so the whole process will be tearing off your 6-inch siding, checking the framing to making sure that it's in stable condition, making any necessary repairs. And we take care of any minor repairs and even repairs that most people would charge extra for. I hate charging extra for on jobs. Once we decide that you're ready to go forward with the project, there's no extra charge for any kind of additional hidden cost or anything like that. So we'll take care of those necessary repairs and make sure that it's properly insulated. I supply 2 rolls of insulation to do any kind of fills. Sometimes down here at the bottom you'll find some areas that don't have proper insulation, or up at the top toward the top plate you'll see some areas that are just kind of lacking small spots of insulation. We make sure those are all filled before we put the sheathing on the wall. Then we go on with a 7/16, a 1/2 inch OSB oriented strand board sheathing, and then we put moisture barrier on top of that, put all our trim on, so all the windows, inside corners, outside corners, all the door trim, that'll all be Hardie plank, and it'll be installed first, and then we butt the siding to it. So right now, if you'll take a close look at your siding, you've got trim that are over the lap boards. Well, all that does is leave big holes for either you to caulk or bugs to get in and stuff and dirt. So I make sure that the siding is butt up against the trim board so that it looks really clean, and it's called a butt-to application in the James Hardie Best Practice Manual. So here on the back of the house, we've got some more gutters that'll have to come down, more fascia that will be replaced with Hardie fascia. You're really lucked out because you've got that 3/4 inch fascia. We can actually replace it with a 3/4 inch piece of Hardie plank. So it'll be completely maintenance free, not an overlay. Although the overlay process is fine, this gives it more of a original to the home look. In some houses they have the 2x fascia, and I can't replace that that fascia. So that'd be a really nice touch. Up here in the gable, you've got a soffit box. It's a little vent, and the air goes up and through. I like to just remove that box completely and put a 18 by 24 louvered vent in, and that'll be aluminum, and it'll have a screen mesh behind it, as well as little bitty holes so that no little critters can get in there. But that'll give you better ventilation, and the air will go straight through the gable as opposed to having to go up and over. They did those boxes in Tulsa quite a bit, and I like to get rid of them whenever I can, so you'll have a better flow of air in the attic space. All the trim will be Hardie plank on the house. Here again, this round top, it's no problem. It'll be a single piece of Hardie that will match up with the same widths. We'll do 1x4 trim, 1x4 trim in between the windows, and make it match up with the windows really nice. Your speakers and things like that, we'll probably take them down and then remount them onto the soffit or right there to the top plate like they are right now. Any new lights that you want for the house, get them, we'll put them up, because we're going to be taking them down for the painting process anyways, so it'll look really good. On the bottom of the house, you've got this brick ledge all the way around. On that brick ledge, I'll put a piece of flashing that'll go right underneath the moisture barrier on the OSB, so it will be it'll divert the water away from that brick ledge, so you won't have any kind of water intrusion issues from that brick ledge. It can cause some problems sometimes. So here again, that flashing will just stick out just a little bit. It won't even come out of the ledge of the brick right here. It's just going to be underneath the siding. This piece of trim on the brick will completely go away. We'll bring the siding all the way down and lift the siding up about 3/4 of an inch, and that's where you'll see that piece of flashing, which will be coated with the rest of the product as well. Here on the right side of the house, we've got some obviously damaged masonite siding, really bad on the paint, and then really bad on the board itself, because once that paint is exposed on this masonite, and even when it's not, in the areas where it wicks up water, like around this edge, it just starts really bubbling up and deteriorating. It looks like that's coming from either a sprinkler system maybe there hitting the wall, or the water coming from this top roof right here flowing down pretty fast and just splashing on this brick ledge right here. So Hardie plank obviously is not going to have that issue anymore because it's fiber cement. You also should be able to get a good chunk off your insurance premium because it's going to be a masonry product as opposed to a wood siding type product or like a vinyl type product. So you can tell the insurance people that your house is completely a masonry product now, like cement, like brick. So here again, trim around the windows, corners, inside corners, proper flashing above the windows here. I also, on this post, I want to wrap this post in Hardie plank too, so give it a real clean look. Bring it all the way down to the cement. Anywhere that the Hardie trim hits the brick on the house, we're going to be mortaring into the house as opposed to doing any kind of caulking, smearing caulking over the brick. So we'll mortar that into the house. Just know that mortar is going to be a little bit lighter than the current mortar that you have on your house, because the new mortar won't have the dirt and the age on it that your existing mortar does. But it'll look really good, it'll fade into the house really nice, and you won't have a lot of caulking just smeared all over the brick on the house. So thank you guys once again. Please feel free to email me or give me a phone call anytime if you have any other questions about the project or the proposal. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.